Dodge dealer today for employee pricing plus and get driving, America.
It happened last May.
The test came back positive.
I called the kids.
We plan to fly her to New York.
We did research.
We spoke with doctors.
And learned that one of the best places for cancer treatment
was right here in Broward.
Broward Health, one of the nation's leading hospital systems. Outstanding cancer specialists, cutting-edge technology.
We've always been close, and this time it mattered the most.
Broward Health, powerful cancer care.
Looking for a meal that fills you up but doesn't empty your wallet? Pollo Tropical's mouth-watering quarter chicken meal with any two of our delicious sides is only $3.99 for a limited time. Pollo Tropical. It's time to pollo.
Life on Mars, tonight at 10, only on Local 10.
Welcome to World News. Tonight, an ABC News exclusive. A CIA station chief in a Muslim nation has been accused of raping Muslim women. Brian Ross investigates. Right fix? President Obama's economic plan passes its first hurdle in Congress, but questions arise. Is it the right prescription to fix the economy? Ice grip. That winter storm has turned deadly, coating half the country in ice and snow, leaving hundreds of thousands in the dark. And watch this. Something new at the Super Bowl. Super short ads. A 1-second ad. Don't blink.
Beer's here. From the ABC News headquarters, this is World News with Charles Gibson.
Good evening. As a new president makes an effort to reach out to the Muslim world, it is not the kind of news he needs. The CIA station chief in a Muslim nation, Algeria, is under investigation, accused of raping Muslim women. The allegations would be shocking at any time, anywhere, but coming now, and in that part of the world, they could have a profound impact. Our chief investigative correspondent, Brian Ross, is here tonight. Brian?
Charlie, U.S. law enforcement officials tell ABC News the CIA's top man in Algiers allegedly laced the drinks of his victims and then made secret videos of the sex acts. It was just last year that the U.S. opened a new embassy in Algiers, and a new U.S. ambassador, David Pierce, presented his credentials to the Algerian government. But now what appeared to be a new high in the relationship between the two countries could be in jeopardy. U.S. law enforcement officials tell ABC News the CIA station chief in Algiers, Andrew Warren, a 41-year-old convert to Islam himself, has been accused of rape by 2 Algerian women, and Warren has been ordered out of the country by the U.S. ambassador. According to an affidavit filed in federal court that names Warren, the women, independent of each other, both said they felt the violent onset of nausea after consuming drinks prepared by Warren at U.S. Embassy social events. One, says the affidavit, woke up the next morning. She was lying on a bed, completely nude, with no memory of how she had been undressed, and realized she recently had engaged in sexual intercourse, though she had no memory of having intercourse. The second alleged victim said she felt physically paralyzed and asked Warren to stop, but that he reportedly replied, "Nobody stays in my expensive sheets with clothes on." U.S. officials are bracing for the reaction from the Muslim world.
Because it has to do with the incredibly sensitive issue of rape of an American, of a CIA operative, raping a Muslim woman.
Warren, an author with his own website, has been with the CIA since 2001, and in Algiers was responsible for coordinating with Algerian intelligence services in the fight against an al-Qaeda wing there that has carried out a series of bombings. Officials say among the items recovered in a search of his Algiers residence were more than a dozen videos that appear to have been secretly recorded, showing Warren engaged in sex acts with a number of women, including one of the alleged victims. Also discovered the drugs Xanax and Valium, which the affidavit says are commonly used as date rape drugs. Warren did not return repeated calls we left with his family, but investigators say he claims the sex was consensual. As for the CIA, it has refused to acknowledge the investigation, although a spokesman said any such allegations would be taken seriously and followed up on. Charlie.
And what do we know about the status of the investigation?
Law enforcement officials tell us, Charlie, the investigation is proceeding at full steam, and the prosecutors could present the case to a federal grand jury in Washington soon. They also say it has broadened beyond Algiers. The videos that were recovered show date stamps, which indicate some of these acts may have taken place in Warren's previous posting in Cairo, Egypt.
All right, Brian Ross, our chief investigative reporter. President Obama's giant $825 billion economic stimulus package cleared its first hurdle today. The House of Representatives passed it, 244 in favor, 188 opposed. Not one Republican voted for it, turning a cold shoulder to the president's appeal for bipartisan support. Jonathan Karl reports from the Capitol tonight.
So much for the president's charm offensive. Today it was all partisan rancor and name-calling.
It is 627 pages long, and that totals $1.18 billion for every single page in this bill.
Many members behaving like mosquitoes.
Mr. Chairman, I very much appreciate you recognizing this mosquito.
It's merely a wish list of long-standing liberal Democrat priorities.
One after another, Republicans lined up in opposition, but Democrats are in charge now, able to pass the largest bill of its kind in history, $825 billion, including $275 billion in tax cuts, $550 billion in new spending, including $43 billion on transportation projects, more than $160 billion on health care, and $150 billion on education, double the entire budget of the Department of Education.
We are moving the ship of state in a new direction.
But Republicans say the bill is filled with old-fashioned big government spending that won't stimulate the economy. For example, $335 million for sexually transmitted disease prevention, $600 million to buy new cars for government employees, and $1 billion to follow up on the 2010 census, which of course hasn't happened yet.
The Senate is expected to pass its own, more costly version of this bill next week. That would put Congress on track to meet President Obama's deadline of getting a final bill to his desk by President's Day. But, Charlie, in the Senate, it is expected that the overwhelming majority of Democrats will oppose this as well.
All right, thanks very much, John Karl. Appreciate it. As John mentioned, the president's package offers a wide variety of spending programs and tax cuts. But economists are quick to point out that not all spending is equal when it comes to what will truly stimulate the economy, which is, after all, what this plan is designed to do. So Betsy Stark is here again tonight with that angle of the story.
Yeah, Charlie, it's not just politicians who are arguing over the particulars of the stimulus bill. Economists are also debating which parts of this massive package are really stimulus, which are social policy, and which will do the best job of creating jobs and spending as quickly as possible.
We asked three distinguished economists to grade different parts of the almost $900 billion package. Former Federal Reserve Governor Lawrence Meyer, Roseanne Altshuler of the Urban Brookings Tax Policy Center, and Mark Zandi of Moody'sEconomy.com. The grades were strictly on their ability to stimulate the economy, beginning with the $54 billion to increase food stamps and extend unemployment benefits, which everyone on the panel gave an A.
That is money that comes quickly into the system and is mostly spent. So that's a perfect example of an effective short-term stimulus.
Our panel also gave high marks to the $79 billion aimed at helping state governments facing big budget shortfalls.
They have to balance their budget, which means that they either have to raise taxes or cut spending and or jobs. And by helping them now, we forestall all of that.
The panel was less enthusiastic about the $6 billion set aside for university building projects, giving Bs across the board.
Bottom line why is because we're not sure that that money is going to sit at the university or if it's going to be spent immediately on university building projects.
The lowest marks went to one of the smallest provisions, $50 million to fund the National Endowment for the Arts.
We should be supporting the arts, but I don't see this as being good stimulus.
The stimulus is something that will help the economy create a lot of jobs and incomes, or at least save jobs in the near term, and this won't help.
And despite repeated calls to help distressed home buyers,
it's in an area of the economy where we really need help.
The panel was skeptical about the economic benefit of the $2.6 billion tax credit for first-time home buyers.
It's just too small. It isn't broad enough and big enough to make a big difference for this very depressed housing market.
When we asked each of the economists on our panel to give an overall grade on the stimulus bill, they came up with 2 B+ and 1 B. The big question they have is how quickly the money the government is allocating will get into the economy. Charlie, they all agree it needs to be fast.
All right, Betsy Stark, thanks to you. The economic crisis could soon mean cutbacks in your mail service. The Postal Service, with an almost $3 billion deficit, His warning delivery may have to be cut from 6 to 5 days a week. What day might delivery be eliminated? Experts say most likely, if this came to pass, would be Saturday or Tuesday. Mail carriers and millions of other people from Texas to New England are dealing with a dangerous winter storm that's covered roads, trees, and power lines in ice and snow. The storm, which moved into the Northeast today, is blamed for at least 24 deaths and has left more than 1 million customers without power. ABC's Eric Hong is in Cincinnati tonight.
Today, nature tightened its icy grip.
It's nasty. It's just nasty outside. 2 hours it took me to get in. I got stuck in the snow.
The storm left a string of accidents, more than 900 in Oklahoma alone, and coated trees and power lines in ice, leaving many in the cold.
Some areas in the far west where entire counties are without heat, without power.
In Arkansas, more than 300,000 customers have no electricity. In Kentucky, nearly 500,000. The Caswells are now in a shelter in Louisville, but because of the rules, they had to leave their dog behind in their unheated house.
We're hoping to go home tonight.
I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
The day could be summed up by what happened here in Cincinnati. Snow followed by freezing rain, and then more snow. A nightmare for cleanup crews. This may look like snow, but it's actually hard as ice. And that's precisely what many drivers here are having to contend with on the roads.
Some of the roads are blocked out in the county, and even driving around in town, it's pretty dangerous. It's a war zone.
The road conditions are slowing the work of power crews. It could be several days before the lights are back on in the hardest hit areas. In the east, the storm lingered all day, snarling the nation's capital and shutting down schools and businesses throughout New England.
The more we plow, the slicker it gets. It's just keep coming.
For much of the country, this is shaping up to be one of the snowiest winters in recent memory, one that many would rather forget. Eric Hong, ABC News, Cincinnati.
And as Eric just mentioned, Washington, D.C. was hit by today's storm, and President Obama took a dig at how the nation's capital deals with bad weather. The president told reporters his daughters had a snow day at their new school, something he says never would have happened back in Chicago.
Anyway, I'm saying when it comes to the weather, folks in Washington don't seem to be able to handle things. It's, I don't know, we're going to have to try to apply some flinty Chicago toughness to this town.
Well, some mean old reporters noted the president now has a 90-second walking commute from his living room to the Oval Office. Well, still ahead on World News, doctors give an update on the California octuplets, while other doctors say these births raise serious ethical questions. Disgraced evangelist Ted Haggard faces new accusations and says 2 years of therapy have made his sexuality clear. And we'll take a sneak peek at the Super Bowl ads at $100,000 a second. Companies are getting pretty creative.
This is World News with Charles Gibson. Brought to you by Dannon Activia.
Amazing holidays. I had the whole family.
Looks like you were busy.
I shopped, I cooked, I ate. And now I'm a little irregular.
Don't you eat Activia?
Nah, it's just me.
Well, then it's time for a new you. Take the Activia Challenge.
Activia eaten daily is clinically proven to help regulate your digestive system in 2 weeks.
Get ready for a new you. Take the Activia New You Challenge now. It works or it's free.
Activia. New Crest Pro Health Whitening helps reveal our teeth's natural whiteness by reducing up to 80% of surface stains, and also protects all these other areas dentists check most, so your smile is always at its best. New Crest Pro Health Whitening.
Tilt of the head, every tail wag. Our pups know how to speak to us. And with a hearty, real beef taste and mouth-watering aroma, only Pupperoni lets them know we're listening. Pupperoni, dogs just know.
How can the oil industry in the North Sea impact fishing markets in Japan, marine legislation in the U.S., and food consumption in Italy? At T. Rowe Price, we understand the connections of a complex global economy. It's just one reason to consider our disciplined investment approach. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and more information to read and consider carefully before investing.
Don't let the smell of trash interrupt your life. Let Glad Odor Shield trash bags take care of it. They neutralize odors. Glad Odor Shield. What smell?
I'm Mark Goldston, Chairman and CEO of Net Zero. Here's a plan for America's broadband users to save $16 billion a year and $300 individually. Switch to Net Zero dial-up at $9.95 per month. Call 1-800-NET-ZERO or go to netzero.com.
Our new island-inspired entrees are here for you at Red Lobster, like Caribbean rock lobster and shrimp, and citrus rum shrimp and scallops, both wood-fired grilled to sear in the natural juices. For a limited time at Red Lobster.
The hospital caring for the mother and the octuplets born on Monday say all 8 babies are breathing on their own and all are expected to be feeding on bottles of donated breast milk by the end of the day. But our medical unit surveyed many fertility experts and ethicists today about the birth of octuplets, and they were troubled by what has occurred. Our medical editor, Dr. Tim Johnson, is here. Troubled? Why?
They're not criticizing the obstetricians or the pediatricians now taking care of them, but they say if fertility experts were involved, and that's highly likely when you have 8 babies born, that it was bad practice. For example, if they used IVF, in vitro fertilization, they can exactly determine the number of eggs, fertilized eggs, to be implanted. And the current guidelines say absolutely no more than 4, probably less. If they were using ovulatory drugs to stimulate eggs and their release in the ovary, they should have monitored very carefully with ultrasound how many eggs were developing in the ovary. And if they had too many eggs, they should have stopped the process and advised the woman not to have intercourse. So they see this as a bad outcome in terms of fertility practice.
You can tell with these drugs that make women superovulate, you can tell how many eggs are about to come in?
You can tell roughly how many eggs. You may not be exactly precise, but you can tell when there are too many.
And they should, and most of these ethicists said they should stop the process.
They should stop the process at that point.
Why? What inherently is wrong with 8 babies?
There are enormous risks for everyone involved. The family is put under great emotional strain and probably financial strain. Obviously, the mother is at greater risk for complications of pregnancy, and most importantly, the babies are at enormous risk for both near-term, long-term medical problems and developmental problems. They say it's not fair to put everyone at such risk.
So bottom line, these fertility experts and ethicists said this should not have happened.
That's right.
All right, Dr. Tim Johnson, our medical editor, thank you. Coming up, fallen evangelist Ted Haggard responds to new sexually charged allegations.
Thermacare wants to know, where does it hurt? My knees. Target the pain with Thermacare heat wraps. Thermacare delivers real heat that penetrates deep to relax tight muscles all day. Nice. Try Thermacare heat wraps and wear it where it hurts.
We had a health concern. Turned out to be nothing, but it got us doing more to protect our health, like taking silver.
Age-adjusted Centrum Silver has key antioxidants and other nutrients that help protect the health of your heart, eyes, and bones. Age-adjusted Centrum Silver.
I completely understand, Dave. That's why I asked you to come in.
I've just been watching the news, following the market, and, well...
You're concerned, of course. Just don't let your emotions get in the way of your long-term goals.
Yeah, I know.
My experience in this kind of a market, we should take a look at your portfolio and make sure your investments still fit your goals.
Thanks, Bill. And thanks again for meeting so early.
Edward Jones Financial Advisors. Over 10,000 offices, one near you.
Let Friskies Selects Indoor unlock the freshness and freedom of the outdoors for your indoor cat. Each delectable entree is bursting with high-quality protein, plus wholesome grain and garden greens. Friskies, feed the senses.
If you have a history of smoking and breathing problems, it could be COPD, which includes chronic bronchitis, emphysema, or both. Discover Spiriva, the only once-daily inhaled maintenance prescription that treats both forms of COPD. Spiriva significantly improves lung function to help you breathe better for a full 24 hours. And it's not a steroid. Spiriva is not a rescue inhaler. Tell your doctor about your medicines, even eye drops, and illnesses like glaucoma and urinary or prostate problems. These may worsen with Spiriva. The most common side effect is dry mouth. Others include constipation and problems passing urine. In the event your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, vision changes, or eye pain, stop taking Spiriva and call your doctor. Spiriva is one of many treatment options to consider with your doctor.
Make a habit of breathing better with Spiriva.
New Crest Pro Health Whitening helps reveal our teeth's natural whiteness by reducing up to 80% of surface stains, and also protects all these other areas dentists check most, so your smile is always at its best. New Crest Pro Health Whitening.
Tomorrow, the frustration of dealing with customer service call centers. You spend hours trying to explain yourself. Now companies are spending money to try and help you. But will it make a difference? Tomorrow on World News with Charles Gibson, your trusted source.
Ted Haggard, who was once one of the most powerful religious figures in America, is speaking out to ABC News about new allegations against him. Haggard's fall from grace, you'll probably recall, began 2 years ago with sex and drug charges that forced him out of his 12,000-member megachurch. Now a new accuser has come forward. Here's Dan Harris.
Lord Jesus, send us a miracle.
2 years after he was brought down by charges that he paid a male prostitute for sex and crystal meth, Ted Haggard is facing new accusations from a former member of his church named Grant Haas, who says then Pastor Haggard exposed himself in a hotel room.
I was shocked. I couldn't move. Like, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. I'm like, this is really happening.
This is a young man who had been kicked out of Bible school, and he came to you and told you about his struggles with homosexuality.
Yes.
And he says you completely violated that trust. Is that true?
That is true.
What's it like to watch that?
It's very sad. It's embarrassing. I mean, I am a failure.
Haggard is giving his first broadcast news interview to ABC as part of the promotion for this new documentary airing tomorrow night on HBO called The Trials of Ted Haggard.
I'm worthless at this point.
The film follows the Haggards in the year after the scandal. They shuttled between borrowed houses and cheap hotel rooms in Arizona as the former pastor struggled to earn a living.
I'm 51 years old and I've never interviewed for a job in my life.
Haggard now says that after 2 years of psychotherapy, he has finally figured out his own sexuality.
I am a heterosexual, but with issues. And so I don't fit into a neat little box.
Do you still think it's a sin to be gay?
For me.
For you, if either it's a sin or it's not, right?
For me it is. With my belief system, I believe that I need to be faithful to my wife. I need to be honorable to her, and I can be now. It's not a struggle at all now.
Haggard's wife, Gail, says she knew her husband struggled with homosexual urges, but had no idea how much.
It felt like the rug got pulled out from under me. I was so shocked. I looked at him and I said, "Who are you?"
How did you get from "who are you" to "I'll stick with you"?
I really stayed for two reasons. And the first was that it was because of how I feel about my husband and about our marriage. And the second was because of how I feel about being a part of the church and the teachings of Jesus.
Last June, the Haggards moved back into their home in Colorado, where they're setting up a family insurance business. They insist their marriage is now more intimate and honest than ever. Dan Harris, ABC News, New York.
And there will be more of Dan's interview later on Nightline, and HBO's The Trials of Ted Haggard premieres tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern and Pacific time. Up next, the latest twist in Super Bowl ads. So much money, so little time.
Rebuilding America's economy will take energy from all sources. And here's some good news. Increased production of domestic oil and natural gas will also create well-paying jobs, drive our 21st century economy, and generate more than $1 trillion for federal, state, and local budgets. Money for better schools, public safety, and community needs. Maybe that's why most people support putting more of America's oil and natural gas to work. For Americans. Log on to learn more.
You won't need this. Tonight, try something new instead. Bird's Eye Steam Fresh Meals for Two. Let your delicious dinner cook itself perfectly in just 10 minutes. New Steam Fresh Meals for Two. Now in the frozen meals aisle.
Okay, listen up. I'm reworking the menu. Mayo, corn dogs, you are so out of here.
The complete balanced nutrition of Ensure with 24 vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, and omega-3s.
Ensure, nutrition in charge.
This fiber, I'd had my fill. Then I found Miralax. Miralax relieves constipation with no bloating, no excess gas, no taste, no grit. You'll see, it's clearly different.
Restore your body's natural rhythm with Miralax.
If you've had a heart attack caused by a completely blocked artery, another heart attack could be lurking, waiting to strike. A heart attack caused by a clot, one that could be fatal. But Plavix helps save lives. Plavix, taken with other heart medicines, goes beyond what other heart medicines do alone to provide greater protection against heart attack or stroke and even death by helping to keep blood platelets from sticking together and forming clots. Ask your doctor about Plavix, protection that helps save lives.
If you have a stomach ulcer or other condition that causes bleeding, you should not use Plavix. When taking Plavix alone or with some other medicines, including aspirin, the risk of bleeding may increase, so tell your doctor before planning surgery. And always talk to your doctor before taking aspirin or other medicines with Plavix, especially if you've had a stroke. If you develop fever or unexplained weakness or confusion, tell your doctor promptly, as these may be signs of a rare but potentially life-threatening condition called TTP, which has been reported rarely, sometimes in less than 2 weeks after starting therapy. Other rare but serious side effects may occur.
If you take Plavix with other heart medicines, continuing to do so will help increase your protection against a future heart attack or stroke beyond your other heart medicines alone. You may be feeling better, but your risk never goes away. Help stay protected. Stay with Plavix.
Tonight, there's nothing like being a cop in New York City.
Bank robbery, come on!
Fighting crime in 1973.
I don't need my gun to take you in.
ABC's Life on Mars. All new tonight at 10/9 Central on ABC.
It may be the best kept clothing bargain secret ever, and tomorrow the secret is out on GMA. So how can less than $38 get you decked out in head-to-toe designer duds? Tomorrow, don't miss Recession Rescue, only on Good Morning America. And go to abcnews.com to get Diane, Robin, and the best of GMA on your iPhone.
Finally tonight, many people who don't much like football will watch the Super Bowl this Sunday just for the advertisements, because many are quite funny. Despite the bad economy this year, a 30-second ad is more expensive than ever, a fact that impacts some of the ads themselves.
Man, did you hear that advertisers are paying like $3 million for a 30-second commercial? That's like $100,000 a second. I don't care how big the game is. Who got $3 million? I tell you what, if High Life had a spot, all we need is a second.
What's that?
That's the first commercial.
A 1-second commercial. Interesting idea. But Sunday, most advertisers are buying the traditional 30 seconds. This one for an organization promoting the adoption of dogs.
Come on, Rusty. Come on, let's go for a walk. Rusty!
Morning, Mrs. Lawrence. Not again.
Bruno, come back here. Bruno, you bad, bad bird.
How you guys doing back there?
How do you think we're doing?
Maybe you should get a dog.
And there will be this for an online job site.
It can be hard to know when you need a new job. As a rule, if you hate going to work every day, it may be time. If you hate going to work and your coworkers don't respect you,
hey, dummy,
it may be time. If you hate going to work, no one respects you, and you always wish you were somewhere else, it may be time. If you hate going to work, no one respects you, you wish you were somewhere else, and you sit next to this guy, it may be time. If you hate going to work, no one respects you, you wish you were somewhere else, you sit next to this guy, and you daydream of punching small animals. Yeah, it's probably time.
But to get back to that idea of a 1-second commercial, the beer company will actually do that in some cities. Purchase 1 second. Some examples?
Biz here. 1 Mississippi. Bonjour, Milwaukee. Happy Can.
As the beer company itself might say, cost less, gets attention.
Hello, muckety mucks.
Look for all that this Sunday. That is World News for this Wednesday. I'm Charlie Gibson, and I hope you had a good day. For all of us at ABC News, have a good night.
20 million viewers return to the island, making this season's premiere bigger than ever, and it's just getting started.
You need to listen to me. All of us are gonna die. Son of a...
ABC's Lost. All new tonight, 9/8 Central on ABC.
Affordable luxury. Lease a 2009 Lexus IS 250 for just $359 a month or an ES 350 for just $399.
Luxury, value, and service are waiting for you here at Lexus of Kendall and Lexus of West Kendall.
Imported Jarlsberg cheese turns salads, soups, sandwiches, and snacks into something extraordinarily special. Mild and delicious. Jarlsberg makes it special.
Wheel of Fortune is next, right here on Local 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Sajak and Vanna White.
Hi. Oh, hi. I was just thinking about you. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. We just don't get to spend enough time together. Hello. Hello. We're going to play a game here, so get ready for it. It's our first toss-up. It's worth $1,000, and here we go. It is a thing. Asia.
A nice hot shower.
Doesn't that sound good? Yeah. There's time for that later, not now, though. This is Asia Muhammad of Chicago, right?
Yes, I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
An accounts receivable clerk.
Yes.
And you have 2 children you want to brag about a little bit?
Yes, I have a son, Joshua, 5 years old, a daughter, Ivory Marie, who is 3 years old, at home rooting for Mommy.
I know they're all pulling for you, and we are too. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Hi, Jay.
Hey,
Jay Goodwin, Brockton, Massachusetts, auto glass technician.
Yes, sir.
And you're a married guy?
Yep, recently got married 3 months ago to my lovely wife, Heather.
Yep. What's you one of those guys who goes to yard sales?
Oh, big yard sale junkie.
How's your wife feel about this?
She hates it.
Okay. Well, that sounds like the basis of a long and lasting relationship. Nice to have you here, Jay. Good luck. This is Lucine Kasumian, right?
That's right.
Lucine is from Montrose, California.
Hi, Pat.
And what do you do?
I work for a visual effects company in Santa Monica.
Yeah, and what keeps you busy away from the job?
I love cooking. I cook, I eat. I'm a big movie buff. I belong to a couple of organizations. I volunteer for orphanage kids in Armenia and for Cancer Cure.
Oh, terrific. It's nice to have you.